Hi, everyone. And I want to thank in advance everyone for taking the time out to share the next hour with us. We're so excited to share some critical updates. But before we do, I want to thank you for what was an incredibly exciting 2022 Open. Really reinforcing what we're committed to, driving community and inspiration. You all did an incredible job within the four walls of your affiliates. And so I want to take the opportunity now to thank you as a community, but also introduce somebody that needs no introduction to talk a little bit more about where we're headed, and then hear from the business owners to talk about what that means for their respective business lines. So coming on next is the General Manager of Training and Education, Nicole Carroll.
Thanks, Gary. Hi, everyone. So I really want to start off by acknowledging that we know that the last 2 years have not been easy for anyone, but that they've been especially tough on our affiliates. You've been in the trenches, fighting the good fight, helping people stay fit and healthy, supporting your communities, not only through the pandemic, but through the many changes at CrossFit over the past 2 years. And even as recently as the past 3 months, there have been a lot of major changes. We've been in flux. We've asked a lot of you, and we at CrossFit's home office have learned a lot in the process. So today we wanted to take this opportunity to share some things we've learned and talk about where we're going from here. But to do this, I want to take a quick minute to just reflect on the past. Next slide, please. Because in order to go forward in the right direction, we first need to look back and remember where we came from. Next slide. So it's very easy to forget now what the fitness world was like prior to CrossFit. The industry was dominated by bodybuilding and endurance, neither of which produced real fitness, and both of which were unhealthy pursuits in the long term. Commercial gyms were isolating retail spaces filled with mirrors and shiny machines. Physical training was dumbed down to movements devoid of any skill requirement. Gym owners sold as many memberships as possible while secretly hoping their members wouldn't show up. And trainers were on hand to pass out towels and upsell memberships. They definitely weren't needed to coach, and they didn't have the skills to teach complex functional movements. Most people got their fitness advice from magazines and overly complicated gimmicky programs promoted by gurus. Much of this was snake oil, so many people who genuinely wanted to be fit wasted their money and their time. And worst of all, they felt like it was their fault. They felt like they had failed and that true fitness and health were out of their grasp. Next slide. But we changed all that. You changed all that. Next slide. CrossFit changed how people think about fitness. We helped them see that true fitness and health were exactly well within their grasp. And this was truly transformative. We changed millions of lives and we revolutionized an entire industry. Next slide, please. At CrossFit, transformation is in our DNA. As affiliates, you know you use this DNA. Call it the methodology, the technology, but you and your coaches, you take this DNA and you make it real. You make change happen, you transform lives. And we hear that word a lot, transformation, transform 100 million lives. And it can start to become something like a buzzword, but transformation is a really powerful word, and it's not something that happens easily. If you think about what that word means, it's the result of consistent, courageous action and commitment in a positive direction. And what CrossFit offers is that positive direction. When someone chooses CrossFit, their courage and commitment are met honestly by something that works. This is so different from the snake oil that was offered in the past, and this is still so incredibly rare in the world today. That efficacy, that real, genuine ability to transform, it's built into our methodology and our ethos. The methodology, constantly varied functional movements executed at high intensity, meats and vegetables, nuts and seeds, some fruit, little starch, no sugar, increased work capacity across broad time and modal domains, an infinitely applicable and scalable prescription for health and fitness. And our ethos of hard work, of virtuosity, doing the common uncommonly well in service to measurable, observable, repeatable results. This potent combination of the methodology and the ethos is what differentiates us from every other fitness program out there. And you know this because you and your coaches do it every day. Next slide, please. As coaches, you also know that there is no one for whom CrossFit does not work. No age, no background, no size, no shape, no ability level. Show up, do the work, repeat, and over time, your physical effort, your consistency, it changes you in every way. Your body gets stronger and so does your mind. You start to realize you can do hard things. You can change your life. You can be fit and healthy. You can win. This is transformation. And this is also why I personally fell in love with CrossFit. And I think why many of us make our living and choose to make our living doing CrossFit and using CrossFit for our life's work. Next slide, please. How did we, and I mean everyone involved, including each of you, accomplish such game-changing transformation, both at the industry level and the industry level and the individual level? Looking back, we did 5 things that made all the difference. We provided a simple, effective, well-defined, and measurable methodology that worked and worked on everyone. We defined fitness, we raised the bar on what it means to be fit, and we turned fitness into sport. We debunked the gimmicks, and we spoke honestly about consistency, hard work, and effort. We professionalized and set high standards for the fitness trainer, like virtuosity. Our success was not defined by membership sales, it was defined by the results we got for our clients. We said, my competency is determined solely by my efficacy. And through all of this, we created a culture of unrivaled community spirit. These are the foundations. These are the things that made us and make us great. These 5 things: our methodology, our high standard of fitness, our commitment to hard work, our virtuosity in coaching, and our community. It's important to articulate these things because they're sacred, because that's how we protect the non-negotiable. They will continue to be our foundations in the years ahead, and the heart of our strategy will be to uphold these foundations. Next slide, please. Our methodology should be transmitted through everything we do, and the key player in this is the coach. Our founder was a coach, our brand ambassadors out on the road every weekend are coaches, and day in and day out, you and your coaches are the guides on every CrossFitter's journey toward transformation. This potent combination of a truly effective fitness program delivered in an environment of unrivaled community support by CrossFit coaches committed to virtuosity is what differentiates us from every other fitness program out there. Next slide, please. So having said all this, how do we build on these foundations to steward CrossFit into the future? Well, the answer lies in that word, steward. The key learning for us has been around this idea of stewardship. Stewardship is about caring for, tending to, and protecting. Stewardship is not about reforming, improving upon, or fixing, but it's also not about stagnation. Stewardship supports natural growth and evolution. And this is how we see our work at CrossFit Home Office. We are stewards of the brand. It is our goal and our responsibility to uphold the things that make CrossFit great and to share them with the world. It's our responsibility to protect and care for our values, ethos, and methodology while helping more and more people discover the benefits of CrossFit for themselves. Next slide, please. You, as affiliates, should be the beneficiaries of our efforts, of those efforts to steward and to tell our story. It's our job at CrossFit Home Office to steward the brand in such a way that gets you clients, so you and your coaches have more and more opportunity to do what you do best. So what I want from you to take away from this is our commitment to you. We will protect and champion our methodology and ethos. We'll continue to listen and learn how we can best support you as affiliates and keep coaches and your coaches at the forefront of our care and our strategy. We will stay true to our brand, and we will share these things with the world through the stories we tell and the actions we take. I can't say we have all the right answers right now or that we'll do it perfectly at every step, but we will continue with what we started. Our foundation have paved our past success, and they will continue to drive our future. This is how we'll change millions more lives in the only way and only the way that CrossFit can. Thank you. What I just talked about there is the heart of who we are. And if I framed it in business terms, we might call it our competitive advantage. Preserving the heart of who we are and growing this CrossFit thing that we've all benefited from so much don't have to be at odds. We want and need both to ensure the world knows who we are and what we have to offer, and so we can all continue doing what we love for years and years to come. So with that, I want to hand this off to Gary and the rest of the team so that we can look at exactly how understanding the heart of who we are translates into our business strategy for 2022.
That's tough to follow, Nicole. I'll just start by saying that, but want to take a moment and tell you how fired up I am. I'm going to go off script a little bit here, but that is why we do what we do. And I want to thank the affiliates that make it possible. And, you lace up your sneakers every single day and go into an affiliate, take a class, and share that workout with your brothers and sisters for that very reason. And so that makes it even more exciting to see what we're going to focus on in 22. So we can live our guiding principles and live our values and make sure that they're manifested in the four walls that make up our affiliate ecosystem. Next slide, Parisa. And so how do we take our competitive advantage in the coach class and make that, a focus area for HQ and how we support our affiliate ecosystem? First, we're going to invest in the education and coaches that are critical to CrossFit's success. We all feel internally here and obviously externally that sentiment is shared. That the coach is the epicenter. What that coach does in terms of development, career progression means and matters to the members that take the classes. That still will help us grow our affiliate community. We'll grow CrossFit gyms because of the quality, the commitment to coaching, and that brand perception. We're going to continue to help gyms succeed with business resources. Things like the playbook, the APN, roundtables, all of those resources have been created to really reinforce our commitment to go on that journey of running a business with our affiliates. And then we're going to leverage our sport. Our sport, as we saw over the past 3 weeks, is incredibly popular. We had right around 300,000 people that signed up to participate in our open. The viewership, people both inside the CrossFit community and outside have an opportunity to see how powerful this sport is and how can we leverage that brand awareness to bring more members into your doors by telling a really, really strong and powerful story. Next slide. And so in order to execute against the 2022 strategy, it'll require us to focus on very few things and do them extremely well as one brand. We're going to elevate the role of the coach and the coached experience. We're going to accelerate the pace of opening more gyms, not opening gyms that we don't feel should be open CrossFit gyms, but helping the gyms that are doing it for the right reasons, that are passionate about the methodology, that want to continue to transform lives and bring this to a broader community. We're going to help them with the resources and navigating the milestones needed to do that. We're going to increase the health of our affiliate ecosystem in a scalable way. We're going to drive more participants to complete the L1 and L2 courses, really focusing on continuing education and what that means for quality inside the four walls of an affiliate. We're going to build a more approachable and consistent understanding of the CrossFit brand at a very high level. What does CrossFit mean and how can this impact people that aren't in the CrossFit community and focused on what we're doing on a daily basis? How do we attract those people into our doors? And we're going to create more operational efficiencies throughout the organization. I mentioned this and touched on this before, but we are one brand, one CrossFit. We are not three departments trying to focus on our specific verticals. We are one brand. And how can we leverage each other's strengths and opportunities to really drive positive brand awareness, but also drive members through your doors and really make CrossFit a global fitness brand that everybody feels they can be a part of. And so very, very excited to take that on. With that, I'd like to throw it back to my partner on the education side, Nicole Carroll.
Hi, everyone. So we're going to take a little bit of a deeper dive into what EDU is focused on this year. So next slide, please. So we all know CrossFit offers an environment like no other, especially at our affiliates. We're a relationship business and we rely on our effective methodology and high quality coaching to feed the advantage we have over everybody else in the industry. And with so many competitors and imitators out there now, it's more important than ever to double down on this. I mean, we all know the better the coach, the better the experience and the results that the clients get. And the better the member experience and results, the more likely they are to stay and tell their friends. The more they tell their friends, the more they bring their friends into your gyms, and the more viral the message becomes of just how positive and effective this CrossFit thing is. So education and training, it looks at our mission and direction, and we're hyper focused on attracting new coaches, retaining our existing high quality coaches, and developing and making it even more valuable for all of our existing coaches. Next slide, please. So when we look strategically at how we achieve this, we want to find ways to really increase and boost the professional opportunities and recognition for our coaches. And this slide depicts our view into what we're calling the coach value proposition. And it's a virtuous cycle of sorts where the knowledge and experience acquired unlocks professional opportunities for coaches, which results in greater recognition for coaches within our ecosystem. And then hopefully this drives an even greater desire for more knowledge and experience so that we can continue to get better and better results for the people that we serve. So in 2022 and beyond, EDU is seeking to deliver improvements to all three of these areas, which enhances the overall value of becoming, remaining, and improving as a CrossFit coach. Next slide, please. So this slide just kind of nutshells and dives a little bit deeper into exactly how we're going to do this. Well, what are some of the things we want to deliver on this year? And first, in terms of attracting new coaches, we want to do more marketing and storytelling. Our marketing and media need to tell the story of the value of CrossFit's credentials, how good they are compared to the rest of the industry, and how respected our coaches should be because of this. And we also want the opportunity that being a CrossFit coach, or we want to convey the message that the opportunity to become a CrossFit coach is a vocation that helps people get fitter and healthier. It's an opportunity to make a living, changing lives for the better. And then the other thing, this is very nuts and bolts, but currently we make it very, very hard for people to buy and find our courses. For example, according to the professional coach surveys, only 3% of the 80,000 people we surveyed there even know we have online courses for continuing education. So this year, we really want to focus on making it easier for people to know what we offer and navigate those options and understand them. Second, in that middle column, we're talking about retaining existing coaches. And so these are the activities that will increase professional opportunities for coaches and increase the recognition for them. For professional opportunities, this includes initiatives that provide financial opportunity for coaches, whether through jobs with CrossFit or additional revenue streams that get unlocked through increased education and credentials, and then also increased recognition. And this is simply providing ways for coaches to be better recognized throughout the community for the educational and credential milestones that they hit. And then finally, that last column is about developing our existing coaches. And today we have more than 3/4 of our coaches that are L1s. And the L1 is absolutely the most critical and foundational credential, but is also meant to be a stepping stone to further development. And so in 2022, we want to promote and try to drive further uptake of our higher level credentials. Initiatives that support this include things like launching the level 4, launching additional new programs like specialty courses and coach development programs, and launching new online courses to fill in gaps in our catalog, and also expanding the impact of current offerings associated with the professional coach, like coach-focused webinars and conferences. So we definitely have a lot of work to do this year, both to improve the foundations like the website and our media, as well as get some new courses and programs off the ground. But our team is super, super excited by the direction we're heading in. And we're looking forward to providing the community with more and better opportunities for coach education. And so with that, I'll kick it one more time back to Gary with an update on the gym org.
Thanks, Nicole. I appreciate it. And you can go to the next slide. And so I think the way that I kind of take all of this is our doubling down on community, right? And focusing on the coach and really empowering that position within a CrossFit affiliate, but also us driving community. And over the last year and a half, for obvious reasons, we haven't had the ability to really double down on our strength as a community and global ecosystem. And so that's really going to be our focus in the gym department over the next year. And we just got done with one of the largest community events in the world in the Open for 22. It was extremely successful, and I want to take the opportunity again to thank you all for allowing that to happen and executing that in your affiliates. Feedback, stories, and all of the information we got were extremely positive, inspiring, and motivational. So thank you for sharing that. We are going to kick off a number of different series or activations that allow us to get together as a community. The US tour I'll touch on shortly, but semifinals, licensed events, district and country summits, and of course, the CrossFit Games when we're all together in Madison this year. You'll be able to see all of this information on the community landing page that'll be coming soon on .com. And that'll allow you to stay connected 24/7, share stories, and see an event calendar of upcoming events where you may be able to participate in. In order to find out when and where these events are happening, you can also leverage our support team. Affiliate support at CrossFit.com is a really, really good resource to update your contact information so we can reach you and share this powerful information with you. And again, receive your monthly field rep newsletter and country manager newsletter so you have all of this stuff right in front of you, as it's really dynamic. One of the really cool things that came out of the pandemic that we've doubled down on as a business is field representation. And so 99.9% of the globe has a person dedicated to overseeing that respected territory, whether it be in the US or non-US markets. And so that's something we're very, very proud of. And these field leaders represent affiliate owners, seminar staff, people that are very, very well known within the industry and sport. And so to be able to tap into them and leverage their institutional knowledge, but also their access to HQ is very, very powerful. So please take a look at the field rep and country manager landing page, and the handle's right up here for you to view and access. We want you to tell our stories. CrossFit traditionally and historically has always been a strong storytelling brand, and we've got to double down on that. These transformational stories, what happens between the four walls, the world needs to know. And that's that thing that you can't write on paper. That's the thing that you can't tie a metric to, is that feeling you get when you see those transformational stories. So send them to us at content@crossfit.com, and also tag us on Instagram so we can share that for the global community. Next slide. Wouldn't be a town hall without giving some product updates in the affiliate world. And so I'm going to really double down and focus on ones that help us drive community, because that is our guiding principle and focus over the next year. As I mentioned before, roundtables, the feedback has been tremendous. Everybody that has participated, or majority of people that have participated in roundtables, have shared really powerful stories, talking about personal and professional best practices that they've been given by their peer group as an affiliate owner to help navigate those different journeys. And so it's really, really cool to hear those stories. So we're going to improve and double down on that product. We're going to introduce a new scheduling tool that helps us really optimize the opportunities for everybody to get together. We're going to continue moderator training domestically and internationally, and CEUs will be issued for moderator training to help reinforce or nudge people to take advantage of that opportunity. Our business resource center is something that we help put together initially with the playbook, the tools over rules kind of philosophy, and us really leveraging the community to consolidate best practices so we could say written for and by affiliate owners. And that's still the case. So we're gonna have playbook version 2 launching very shortly after the, or right before the CrossFit Games. Updated content's gonna include added tools, translations. And then we're going to focus on a resource center that gives you the ability to financial plan, talk about member experience and retention, and much more. So really excited about that. And then we want to hear your feedback. We're always willing to listen, learn, adapt, and evolve. And that's what we need to do in order to become and continue to be an unquestioned business partner for all of you running your affiliates. And so we're going to have affiliate owner Q&As, really have transparent, candid, and sensitive conversations regarding what's going on in the industry. Also do APN, Affiliate Partnership Network, deep dives so you understand the benefit of leveraging the APN, whether it be preferred pricing or revenue generating opportunities for your affiliate. And then we're going to have webinars for resources like CAP to really understand how to leverage that and double down on developing of your coaches and really creating an incredibly powerful class. Next slide. So quickly want to touch on the APN. The APN, as you all know, is a product that we stood up in order to take advantage of the global brand that is CrossFit, surround it with really powerful partners that help you operate your business more efficiently. And so we're continuing to grow this, and we're excited to add 3 partners that will be serving the international community. It started out as a US product because we wanted to test and learn. And that helped us influence and again, motivate our ability to share it to the broader community. And so Bear Complex, Hybrid AF, and GoWOD will be brands that are introduced in V2 that really will help serve the global community. We're going to continue to work on improving this. Up next, maybe music licensing, gym insurance, consumables, apparel, software tools, and more. Next slide. And then the US tour that I mentioned before. I think most, if not all of you, are aware that we did something similar in Europe over the summer, post CrossFit Games. And what that the goal was there is to really just listen, be very vulnerable with our community and talk about our plans, and take the feedback that we learned to inspire our product roadmap and where we're focused as a business. And we tried to do that over the last year. We need to do that same thing here at home. And so we've identified key markets on where we're going to go. The dates have yet to be determined. It will be in the near future, but we really want to flag this and make sure you all are aware so you can make plans to join us. It's going to be backyard barbecue style, roll your sleeves up, do a WOD. Let's talk and have a real conversation about what's going on and how we can best serve you as headquarters. Next slide. And the last thing I'm going to end on is some really, really incredible milestones. Don't want to miss the opportunity to thank individuals leading our affiliates or owning our affiliates that have stayed with us. And so I want to congratulate the 300 plus new affiliates that joined us in 2022. And for comparative sense, this has really reached 2014, 2015 numbers. So the growth is incredibly strong and powerful and exciting to see. 748 affiliates experienced their 5-year anniversary in this upcoming year, 272 their 10-year anniversary, and 9 their 15-year anniversary. So thank you for doing what you do to make this the most powerful methodology in the world and powerful community. You can go to the next slide. And I'm going to throw a curveball here. You guys probably all think I'm going to send it back to Nicole, but I'm going to actually pass it over to the general manager of sport to share a little bit of what's going on in his department, Justin Berg.
Hey guys. First, it's a total honor to represent you guys as a former affiliate. And for this section, we want to give you a view on what's happening with sport with a little perspective around the Open, which was fantastic this year. And then a view towards where we're going to take the sport going forward. Before we go there, the principles that we've used over the last decade or more to grow our sport in benefit of affiliates and our training methodology has always been really simple. The first priority was that we run a tight competition that crowns the fittest on earth. And the vision on this originally was that this is a competition of training methodologies. And CrossFit can boldly say to the world that the fittest people on earth train CrossFit, and they come from CrossFit coaches and gyms. So that will and always has been our top priority with the sport group. The second thing that we do is we create great community events for CrossFitters. So it's important for us that there are in-person touch points that we have where the athletes can also be kind of front and center and the methodologies and their training can be on display, but also that these are handmade events that come from volunteers and support local communities and give them an extra energy and excitement to take back into their gyms to support the training behavior. The third thing that we've done is we've boldly told our story through media. And there's some awesome opportunities on how we can use sport to continue to do that and amplify our message more broadly. Next slide. So how are we doing when it comes to gathering and engaging our global community? The slide that you're seeing is from last year, where CrossFit had 11 events that were part of the CrossFit Games season, but we also almost silently added 27 different licensed event partners. Now, again, each of these events is individually operated and it has a great kind of micro community feel. So it represents the athletes within that region or within that state or country. And we're only planning to expand this going forward. This year to date, we have over 80 different event applications received. We've got 43 licensed CrossFit competitions, with a huge amount of those coming from Europe, where we're seeing the sport absolutely surge. Next point. And we talked about boldly telling our story through media. We have this unbelievable opportunity, which is that sport content reaches far and wide. And most brands would kill to have the opportunity that we have. On just the game side, we generate over 1 billion different social impressions, and we have over 500 million minutes streamed, with 8 hours of additional content being covered on broadcast television in the United States. The opportunity here is really, really important and hopefully beneficial to you and your affiliates. When other brands want to share their message more broadly, the vehicle that they typically use is advertising in the form of 30-second ads on television or 15-second ads on social media or graphics and billboards. What we have at our disposal is a professional and worldwide sport that most brands would kill for. And what that means is that because CrossFit has invested over the last 15 years in doing the hard work of learning how to produce broadcast quality television, learning how to live stream our events and all the difficulty that comes with covering CrossFit as opposed to like basketball, which is relatively simple. What we've gained from that is the ability to produce and control the narrative for every single minute that people watch CrossFit competitions on television. And what that means is that we have 44 minutes an hour on broadcast television, rather than just being narrowly in that 30 seconds once an hour kind of advertising spot. We're going to continue to try to grow this over time, including expanding our global offerings so that we're not just broadcasting domestically in the United States. And our commitment to you guys is that we will always speak about affiliates, the coached relationships, and making sure that we're educating audiences that are not yet familiar with CrossFit on what it is, and then hoping to steer them into local gyms around the world. Next slide. So our priorities for this year to share out with you all is one has been the Open. And so this was a terrific success. This year we added 30,000 new participants in the Open, which is fantastic. International participation was absolutely kind of mind-blowing. The amount of new participants that are coming from Europe in particular has been really kind of inspirational. And in return for that, as we had more people participate, what we also tried to do was honor that experience by producing live Open announcements that gathered our global community, and the viewership on those were over 100,000 concurrent viewers for each of the 3 shows, which is unprecedented in the history of us broadcasting and streaming these Open announcements. And when we gathered that community, what we were most proud of is that we could use that as a platform to share out some of the awesome transformational stories that are happening inside your gyms. So CrossFit is back into investing in transformational stories and the media coverage of those. We were able to showcase some unbelievable affiliates like CrossFit Glasgow and others who were producing transforming lives, just doing some really incredible things. We also were able to go out and we invested in covering the New York Police Department, the New York firefighters, using the Open to build community, but more importantly, to strengthen and fortify themselves for their jobs, using CrossFit as their training methodology. And we're also proud to use that platform to support International Women's Day with a We the Women series, and use that as a chance to premiere that and share it out more broadly. Next. The finals is another top priority for us. What we're really excited about is after several years of the world forcing us to not allow international fans to come into the United States to see the finals, in some cases, no fans to be able to see the finals like in 2019. We're really proud that now it looks like we'll be able to bring back that global audience. So we're anticipating a full house, which is going to be really exciting for all of us. And then also we're going to use this opportunity to go back and take the content that we're producing for a US television audience and reproduce that in a way that we have in the past so that we can distribute it into non-US markets. So we'll not just be targeting North America, South America and Europe will be top priorities, and we'll be using our resources to amplify that distribution going forward. Next. And then the last is partnerships. From a partnership standpoint, this was 2021 was a year of terrific turnover. So we added a new title sponsor and we added several new partners very quickly. Our goal going forward is to slow down and make sure that we're looking at these deals across all lines of business and making sure that we're also bringing partners to the table that are going to add significant affiliate value. So we're working closely with Gary's team to make sure that the affiliate partner network is included in our largest enterprise-wide deals and trying to bring you guys the best possible market deals on certain products and services, but also looking at certain categories that might not be traditional sports sponsors, where we can bring super, super attractive offerings to you guys for benefit of your local gyms. Next. The last and kind of the send off here is we've talked, and Nicole mentioned, what are the things that we want to preserve and where are the areas that we want to evolve? When it comes to preserving the CrossFit Games, we are fully committed as an entire team to making sure that the CrossFit Games will always maintain the title fittest on earth. And that'll be a strongly validated claim that we're going to shout to the world. To maintain that going forward, we've chosen Adrian Bosman to lead programming for the next version of the CrossFit Games. The methodology or kind of the thought process that went into selecting that were, one, it had to be somebody who deeply understands CrossFit's methodology. And they had to be a red shirt at heart. So they know it to the point of fluency, and there were no conflicts of interest as well. The second thing that we looked at is that they have to understand the mechanics of large scale competitions and how that we not just program a good competition that is the right test, but also how do we demonstrate it broadly? How do we make sure it integrates with media? And how do we continue to use this in our storytelling? And the third is courage, and the courage to make tough decisions and stick with them, and also responsibly push the margins out for the fittest athletes on earth so that they're continuing to advance their capacities and showcasing to the world that there's no fitter athletes than those athletes at the CrossFit Games. Adrian has all of those attributes in spades, and we know that he's the appropriate and best person to lead the programming forward. But after the games, what we're also looking at is not just having a sport that is exclusive and ends with a handful of people with gold medals and prize money, but we also want to continue to grow our sport at all levels. The way that we'll evolve that is we're going to deeply engage, and we've begun this process already with many of our different stakeholder groups from within our community. One of those groups are the athletes themselves, who hold terrific influence and reach. Another are event organizers, who are kind of silently the ones that are carrying the load and pushing forward all the hard work and detail to soldier on with these events. And that's a very, very difficult place to be. So we want to support them in their businesses. The third area that we're looking at is integrating our partners and using their voice and audience to spread CrossFit more broadly. And then you guys specifically as affiliate owners. So looking at those four groups, our job is to gather them together and align those interests. What we started and what we'll roll out soon is going to be taking our Athlete Advisory Council and expanding it to include athletes from around the world and also from all divisions. So our individuals who are well represented now, team athletes who will get more involvement from, the adaptive community, masters athletes and teenage athletes, and making sure that their voices are heard and considered as we're planning the future of our sport. The next way that we'll evolve is also trying to create more opportunities for people to play our sport regardless of what their overall work capacity is at this particular stage. And what that means is over time, as athletes cap out in the games process, that they will all have additional opportunities to exit and continue to find virtual competitions and in-person competitions that are matched for their ability levels. This year, CrossFit introduced the levels program after the Open. And for top athletes, that level will be adjusted after the quarterfinal stage, which is beginning next week. That level system is a work in process. And so we're going to continue to build on this over time, but it's designed to represent the basic ability level of athletes based on how they do at the Open and virtual competitions, and then match them and their ability level to competitions from within the community, our licensed events and other competitions that are taking place around the world. And the interest there is to find a way that athletes, even if they're not the fittest on earth, can compete locally, or they can compete with people at their matched ability levels in a way that's responsible. So CrossFit will continue to work with event organizers to also responsibly program so that events for intermediate athletes or just normal RX athletes are not over-programmed and they have responsible boundaries. So that after that competition, athletes are coming back into your gyms, motivated to train and improve their skills and their capacity, not injured or demoralized because the competition and the programming wasn't appropriate for them. The last thing that we're looking at is to partner with more events worldwide. And so we talked about that at the front, that's more touch points, that's more physical activations. There's more positive representations of CrossFit so that people are going to start to see this and respond to it more. But ultimately, what we see here is that this should be a sport that people want to learn and play, and that they're walking into your gyms and they're respecting you as a coach, as the person most knowledgeable to help them advance and compete more responsibly and at a higher level. Next. The last thing that we want to showcase is everybody's talked about, and Gary mentioned it specifically, as a company, what we're trying to do is look at what each of our respective functional groups can do to add to our mission, to transform more lives and to bring more members into CrossFit gyms where the magic happens. One of the ways that we're using the sport to do that is as we've launched the new Games app, and as we have the new Games app have more functionality into the future to have more competitions virtually, more licensed events, as people are coming in through the sport, we want to make sure that we're shepherding them into gyms. So with all the features that we looked at with the Games app, and we'll have percentiles, we'll have levels, we obviously have leaderboards and media, we're also making sure that we're always drawing a direct line to find gyms near you and to upgrade their coaching skills for the athletes who are also coaches. And last, to wrap us up, CrossFit's president, Jason Dunlop.
Thank you, Justin. And a big thank you also to Gary and to Nicole for what was, I hope you'll agree, a fantastic presentation on exactly where we're going and how we're supporting you. I also wanted to give out, Gary mentioned at the start, a big thank you to all of you on this call for everything you do daily to make sure that we're transforming lives and as we protect and evolve as we grow the CrossFit brand. I want to share three things with you, three questions that come up. One being around where we are with our CEO search. Secondly, where we are with the focus on what we're doing and how we're going to support you. And then thirdly, how we will actually do that. So the what and the how. First of all, the CEO search, lots of questions asked, obviously, on where we are with this, given that Eric moved to the chair role a few months ago. And I want to be completely transparent in that the search has kicked off. We are actually looking for someone, as you've heard, CrossFit is a business built around the coach with great leadership and stewardship. And those will be things that we will be looking at really about the cultural fit for how we are going to evolve the business, but them as the leader, as the CEO. Their commitment to CrossFit will be absolutely a must as we continue this search. But also we will be looking for an individual that will be, like everybody in this call, humble and continue with a growth mindset as we continue to transform lives globally. And they will be underpinned completely with making sure that the community and what we are at our heart, at our strongest, making sure we preserve the community and we grow this together. So this search has kicked off and we'll keep you updated as to how that progresses. But I just wanted to share because that's been asked several times out there in the community. The second thing about what we will be doing, we're going to be preserving and evolving. And actually that's been covered throughout the thread of this, this town hall. And hopefully you'll agree, we're actually grounding ourselves back in what we actually at CrossFit are good at. And it's proven time and time again over the last 2 decades. And that is our methodology, is our commitment to fitness. And it's making sure that we actually stay true to that. And you've got a commitment from myself, everybody in this call, and everybody here that is supporting you, that that is front and center as we think about what we'll be doing moving forward. And moving forward is evolving. And that evolving is actually going to make sure that we grow the business at our roots, but we actually evolve and listen as we're transforming lives across the globe. And we've seen that continually throughout this year and also at the start of this year. As you've seen more members, you've seen obviously the games with one of our best years ever, and our education continues to be a leading forefront across the globe. So finally, how we wrap that up. So next slide. We will be committed to you as operating as one team. We're committed, and you've heard throughout this, we're not thinking about ourselves as one particular business unit. We're looking at CrossFit and how we show up for you and how we're going to show up together. And we've got one mission, that mission of transforming lives, but completely and utterly grounded in what we do with our methodology and the proven track record that we all have. So this is our commitment to you. And I just want to wrap it up by saying a big, massive thank you. And a thank you for the whole team. But most importantly, a thank you for everybody that's out there, making sure that CrossFit does what we do best in transforming lives.